Hello. This week's way to be a better human is inspired by patience. Whether it's being patient with a child, an idiot adult, waiting for the punchline of a joke, or waiting to see if someone had found resolution to their conflict. We can all learn to have a little more patience in life and just slow down and wait for the ending to come about. Remember, what you put into the universe, you receive from the universe, so why not put a little more patience into it? Hello! Welcome to the Average Ghost Mom podcast. I don't know. I felt like that was kind of weird. I didn't do how I normally did it. I think because I haven't recorded in a while because I've been like stack up recording or what is it? What did people say? There's a phrase. Batch recording. That's the phrase I hear a lot. I've been batch recording and I think I forgot how I opened my thing. So don't uh don't judge me or whatever for forgetting how I open my podcast. But I will say, look who's got her shit together, bitch. I got I've got my stuff together for the podcast. I'm batch recording, I am pre-planning out episodes, and I'm getting it out and I'm staying on top of it. It is so nice that I can schedule for episodes to come out though. That was something I didn't know I could do. I thought when like I wanted the episode to come out, I had to like make sure to be there to post for it. And I can record 4 episodes right now, upload them all and schedule them out so that they'll come out on certain days at certain times. And that is just so nice. Um so today is I have a very particular day. Today's a particular day. Um, I'm gonna tell you now, if you're not into spiritual, witchy kind of stuff, you're probably not gonna give two craps about this. But if you want to learn something new, I would say stick around, you know? But if you don't like it when I talk about spiritual, witchy things, then just fast forward through this episode so that way it plays and I get the play view, please. But you're probably not gonna care to listen to what I have to say today. Today I'm talking about the September moon, the September full moon, which happens to be a blood moon this year, and I'm talking about the pagan holiday of Mabon. Because tomorrow, from when this episode releases, is the first day of September, and so September, it's the third month of the third quarter. So just trying to help everyone keep on top of their stuff. You've only got this month and then 3 more months till the end of the year. So something I'm doing is I'm kind of getting my New Year's resolutions thought about. Like what are things that I want to work on next year and starting to make a plan now because I know if I think about it like the last week of the year, it's just going to be a weird list that sits on my desk and then gets piled up. So if I start on it now, and then I have time to procrastinate. I have time when I can hyperfixate on it and then not hyperfixate on it. You know, if I start early enough, I will give myself all the time to waste time and then still have time to work on it when I want to work on it before the beginning of the new year. So, I'm starting on my New Year's resolutions. I'll share those with you later once I have like a kind of better list put together and a better plan about how I'm going to execute it next year. So, you'll hear this later. Let me see, but if you are into like more spiritual witchy kind of things or if you're just, interested but you're not going to partake or anything, hold on a second. And like my hair kept touching it and I thought somebody was like in the room with me and I was like, "Who the heck is here?" Everyone else is like in the living room or in the dining room doing something cuz it's just us three at home. And I'm like, "There's nobody else in in this room with me. It's just me." It was just me. So, anyway, sorry. September full moon takes place on September 7th, and it's generally referred to as the corn moon or the harvest moon. There's a couple other names that it does go by, but those are the two more common ones. Um, the autumn equinox this year is September 22nd, which equinox, equal. So it's equal day, equal night. It's the halfway point between the summer solstice and the winter solstice. Um, and that is when Mabon is celebrated. So, jumping back to the full moon, um, the full moon this month is also going to be a blood moon. However, the Americas, so like North America, South America, we won't be able to see the blood moon. Literally, the rest of the world will be able to, like Europe, Asia, Australia. It listed Africa. They'll all be able to see the blood moon, but we just won't be in the right place at the right time. So we won't see it, but it's still happening. So that means that we could still get some of the spiritual, the metaphysical things to happen, even though we can't see it, because it's still happening, you know? So for the corn moon, this is a time, so the corn moon is kind of associated with the autumn equinox since that's what's taking place. Lammas was kind of associated with August's full moon. So when it comes to association of the full moon, if like I think I said this last time, if there's like a specific kind of celebration happening around that time, then it'll kind of be more associated with that moon. I think it was for August. Maybe it was July. Why didn't I write this down? I don't know. I can't think of anything. No, 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 no. It was August. It was August. Anyway, so for the corn moon of September, since it has correspondence to the autumn equinox in Mabon, this is the time to be slowing down and to focusing on the home and preparing for the cold season. It's time to find balance after the busy summer. So, right now is like a great time to be preparing for cold season, flu season. You know, the kids are going back to school, so they're going back to their little petri dishes of sickness and illnesses. So it's a great time to, stock up on medicine, go through, make sure nothing's expired. Um any other like home remedies that you have? Oh, make your fire cider right now. If you don't know what that is, fire cider is basically a whole bunch of produce in a jar of apple cider vinegar and seasonings in it too. And you can find different recipes. There's various recipes. There's like your basic things that go in it. Um gosh, I haven't made any yet, but I think this year I'm going to really put in the effort to do it. I need to write this down. Hold on, let me write this down. I think like the very basic main ingredients is so first you put your large produce chunks in. So that's like garlic, onion, ginger, um and then seasonings is like cayenne, pepper. Pretty sure you put a little bit of salt in there to help with the hydration. Um I don't know what else. And then I know oranges and like citruses like lemon and oranges. Um and then you fill it up with apple cider vinegar and then you let it sit for like you I think you have to burp it. I have no idea. Y'all need to go look up a recipe. um I'll probably hold on. I might could do some research and bring it up either in my next episode or I'll do it on my next witchy one maybe if you want me to. No, I'll find it and I'll put it in my next episode. I have a since I'm planning these episodes out, everything kind of has like a theme that I try to stick to so that way I can like focus and make sure like this episode is this content and I'm not hopping around too much in a single episode. So it'll be kind of left field, but if you're listening in order from my first episode and going from there, it'll make sense. And if not, then I'll put in that like fine print that like, hey, this isn't relevant to the last episode. But anyway, fire cider. If if you if you need to have it, if you need to make it, think about it. Start to find the find the things that you need to make that. Find your jars and stuff. Find your recipes. Um, it's also a time to like get into the routine of the school schedule in your home schedule. Um Next, I think it's next episode I'm talking about easy recipes uh, because of Ava's new school, personally speaking, because of Ava's new school, I had to change my home schedule. And it's just been so hectic with trying to get back into like a groove of any kind because I've never worked a schedule like this before. So it's new to me and it's been a struggle. So this is definitely the time to start, okay, sitting down. I'm going to sit down after I record this and I'm going to look at, okay, well, how do I need to structure my days better so I can be more successful in keeping up with day-to-day tasks, you know? Um, Let me see. Oh, another thing is like also your child is in school now and they might have a new schedule. And if not a new schedule, at least a whole new classroom, teacher, you know? So not only do you need to focus on yourself, make sure you're good with the new schedule and slowing down and getting prepared, but also check in with your kids too. You know, make sure that they're doing okay because this is also an adjustment period for them as well. And some kids adjust better than others. Um, if they're having some behavioral things that are abnormal for them, I would definitely check in with them and be like, "Hey, like don't sit here and get freaking pissed and go off fly off the handle every single time that they do something that they don't normally do." Like it's probably because they're in a new setting, new situation, it's kind of stressful for them. Maybe their friend isn't in their class. Maybe they're only like 1 or 2 school years in and they're not used to their friend not being in their class with them or even being being able to see them at lunch. Maybe they're on like totally opposite lunch schedules for their classes and they don't even get to see each other at recess or whatever, you know? So definitely try to be sure to keep your kids in mind as well. And I don't mean that like, oh, you're terrible parents out there. You don't think about your kids. Like, no. Great parents always think about their kids, but sometimes we don't always consider that, oh, like not only did I have a schedule change or like we're going through an adjustment period at home because of the school schedule, like your kids are also going through an adjustment period too. So definitely, reach out to your kids of all ages. I mean, I'm talking even your college students. Make sure that they're okay. Because I tell you what, I know a few college students, and it's it can be a lot. It can be stressful. So check in with them. Make sure that they're eating. Make sure that they're sleeping. You know. So make sure they're getting out and going for a walk every now and then between classes, and they're not stressed and overloaded. Okay. This is the time where we're transitioning from the fun of summer, the freedom of summer, the energy of summer, the long, long days of summer, and we're transitioning to even days, and we're eventually going to get to shorter days. So this is a nice month of transition for September, which also I think, yes, the blood moon being in September, being at this time of the year is fantastic. It's perfect. It totally fits in because the general spiritual nature of the blood moon is that it represents transformation and change, divine judgment, feminine energy and fertilization. Is that what I write? Fertilization, I think so. Um, Healing and resolution, connection to ancestry, and cleansing energy. Um, the blood moon is used for celebrating life or the flow of blood. It energizes fertilization, fertility. What the hell did I write? Fertility. I wrote fertility. I'm so used to typing and I don't want to have to like keep making all these notes on my phone because they don't stay in order. So I got a notebook. I got a notebook so I can plan this stuff out. So I'm not used to having to read my writing anymore. I have to get better. Anyway, um energize fertility, abundance and communication with spirit. So the blood moon is a fantastic time for this season, for this year, for this moment because of the transformation and change. Um a bowling coach of mine once said change is strange, and boy was he right. change can be exciting, change can be stressful, change can be a lot sometimes depending on the change, you know? It can be good, it can be bad, but either way we have to accept the change, you know? You can't stop change from happening. It's going to happen and you have to learn how to go with the flow, okay? And speaking of flow, the blood moon is the flow of blood. So that's in the sense of, if you're gonna if you have a specific spiritual connectivity with yourself and with your surrounding energy, whether that be like Mother Earth or just in your little area, you know, this might be a time where other spirits kind of are reaching out to you. So if around this first week, around September 7, if some people, who you haven't seen in a while because they're down there, in the ground, if they're kind of reaching out to you or if you're having dreams about them, like they're just staying high. That's it. They're just reminding you like, "Hey, don't forget about me just cuz I'm gone." You know? Which we should never forget past family just cuz they're gone. Unless they were terrible people, like murderers, they're terrible people. We should forget about them. Um This is also a great time for like cleansing your energy, like getting that ancestral flow and divine judgment when you're cleansing things and cleansing your energy. It's it's great. It's perfect. It's just a little extra boost of empowerment, you know? Um Also with healing and resolution, that kind of comes with change too, because if you've been stuck in a certain way because of an issue, hopefully hopefully it'll come to an end. Hopefully things will resolve and hopefully you can grow from this in a positive manner. Hopefully you can go forward from things in a positive manner. Um because I would, it'd be terrible if something came to an end, if any conflict or problem came to an end and it ended negatively, you know? We always want to try to salvage partnership or any sort of relationship, whether it's romantic or familial or just platonic, you know? It's always good to try and have those still be positive afterwards. Um, Unless they were just really shitty people, you know? I don't know the situation. I don't know your situation. So if you're like, no, this guy's a piece of shit or this girl's fucking psycho, like, maybe it's best. Maybe it's best for you. The positive way is to just let them go and to never have contact ever again. You know? You need to sit down and evaluate that though. And September 7 is the best day to do that. It's a great day. And you don't have to do it on September 7. It could be the day before, day after. I think kind of like the general consensus that I've seen is like 2 or 3 days before or after. It depends on like your schedule, what you can or can't do. If you remember, if you forget, girl, I'm the queen of forgetting. Oh my god, it's a full moon, and I have apps and I have reminders. I'm like, oh, shoot, I missed it. So it's a great time to just kind of remember those who have gone, who have passed. Do a little something for them. Kind of stare at their picture a second longer. And come to terms with your problems. It's a great time. Because also with the full moon, that's when things come to fruition. That's the whatever thing that you need to see come to light, whatever climax that you need in a problematic story, generally is the full moon. So we're gonna see things peak and we're gonna see things come to light, and then we need to start on the downhill, moving on from that. Appreciating what we've got, what we've learned, and now what can I get rid of? So all those conflicts tying up, hopefully, this week. Um, Let me see, what else did I write? Um, Correspondences, if you like to kind of decorate around full moons or wear colors associated with full moons. Um, browns and greens for specifically the corn September full moon. Um, it's kind of like the main colors that we go with. Wheat, witch hazel, and flax seed is kind of the vibe. I don't really know what else to say about that. It talks about foods and stuff, but honestly, I should have done a little more research on witch hazel. I only know it to be a liquid that you use for like cleaning and self-care stuff. I don't actually know what witch hazel is. So, as far as crystals go though, citrine, peridot, and bloodstone. So, if you need to switch up your altar a little bit, you can. If you want to wear some jewelry, you can. If you just want to go buy some, you know, there. Now you have a reason. Oh, we need to go get this stuff for the September full moon. Oh. Let me see. Kind of skipped around on my writing. What did yeah, that was that. Okay. So, Mabon also takes place in September because it is the autumn equinox. Equinox. Equi. Um, the Mabon celebrates the second major harvest. So, Lammas, the last celebration, is the first harvest, and then we have Mabon, which is second, and then Samhain, which looks like Samhain, is the third, and that's also Samhain is like Halloween basically. So for those people who are like, oh, Halloween's also Samhain, that's also the celebration of the third harvest. This is the harvest season. This time is when the beginning of the fall to the end of the fall. It's like the major harvest times of things because we're in preparation to harvest all this stuff and get ready to survive over the winter. So Mabon is the second. Colors that associate with Mabon is orange, red, yellow, brown, copper, dark yellow, and dark green. Um, Also, these are just kind of general lists. They're like common, popular things. When I do my research, I take the general that I see amongst things. There theoretically is like no one specific way to celebrate or to decorate or corresponding things. Um, you just kind of got to go with what feels right, you know? That's part of being spiritual, being more on the witchy side of life. It's your intuition, it's trusting your intuition. And so that comes with, does it feel right to include this stuff at this time or not, you know? So, if you like to decorate with a sense of purpose and you need like a constant flow of change, decorating for full moons, decorating for holidays on the wheel of the year are fantastic. If you constantly like to change up a space or something. Um yeah, those are the colors. Notice how they also associate with normal like fall colors. Weird. Wonder where that comes from. Um Corn, beans, squash, apples, pumpkin cider, root vegetables, pomegranate, wine, mead. Fantastic foods to have at a Mabon celebration. Those are generally the things that like we're harvesting around. So those are the things that we're going to put in our cornucopia, right? Um Sunflowers, thistles, and marigolds are kind of like the flowers and the plants that we generally uh-oh, somebody's battery's at 5%. Let me just turn my phone volume off. I didn't even know I had it on. I like never put it on. Oh, did I just hold on? So sorry. I don't even understand how my phone volume comes on. I always keep it off because I don't like the extra noise. Like all this noise bothers me from notifications and stuff. Anyway, but yeah, sunflower, thistle, marigold. Those are the general flowers and plants that we use to celebrate around Mabon, like for decorative purposes or for gifting purposes, you know. Um, let's see, kind of like a last little note I have is that so Lammas is the first harvest festival, which happens between, it's the halfway point between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox. Then Mabon is the autumn equinox. And then Samhain is the halfway point between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. So that's kind of how, that's like an insight on how the wheel of the year works with their with when they time things. And so like personally what I like to do is I like to go from that month's full moon to that specific day in the year, or the day to the full moon, depending on when the full moon happens. And if it's a month that has two full moons, I go with the first one, because I don't like just I don't like just celebrating and decorating for like one day, you know? And I get like, oh, we have the 4th of July, that's one day, and we have, you know, Thanksgiving is one day. But like October, Halloween, well, okay, technically we celebrate Halloween only on one day, but we decorate for the whole day. Like 4th of July, like we keep that up like all month long. Valentine's Day, I don't know, that's kind of hit or miss. Like some people decorate for like the whole month, other people decorate for like just a couple days around the holiday. Christmas is the whole month. Heck, Christmas is for months. Some people decorate Christmas during November, all of December, and into January. And I will not share my opinion about that, because this episode is not the time for me to get on my soapbox about it. But I mean, so when I have the Wheel of the Years, like I want to celebrate that, you know, more. I want to be able to meditate and to think about what's the purpose of the holiday. Maybe we're celebrating a second harvest. We're celebrating like another abundance of, what we've got. Like great job, you know. First harvest, great job. We're going to share like what we've got, what we're learning, what we're coming to, what's coming up. Second harvest, fantastic. Keep it going. Let's make it to the third harvest. Let's see, how much more we can get between now. This is the last oomph before like the last harvest. So I want to be able to, and then also taking association the moon too. Because if I can just overlap like a, oh my gosh, jeez, Louise, are we done? Is my phone done? Are we done making noise and interrupting? Golly. Ugh, I'm so sorry, people. But if I would rather just do one celebration for both the moon and whatever holiday is happening. Okay, so I can combine like a moon ritual with a holiday ritual. Like in this case, I would celebrate from September 7 to September 22. You know, I can be mindful about these things. I don't know, it feels better to me than doing like, oh, one thing on September 7 for the full moon, and oh, one thing on September 22nd for the autumn equinox, and that's it. Like, you know, but I think that kind of comes back to like my thing with Christmas. I don't I don't only celebrate Christmas on the 25th, right? Like for me, Christmas is a time about spending time with family and cherishing and reminding them, those who you love, that you're there for them and you appreciate them, and a time of being thankful, which that kind of can come down from Thanksgiving. And it's better, I don't know. It's just I feel like it's just like a better human quality to not only do it on one day, you know? Same with like birthdays. I kind of celebrate like for the whole month, which in my case it's 3 consecutive months because April, May, June. Um Josh, mine, Ava's. But it's a time to be like, wow, like look at you. You made it a whole nother cycle around the sun. How crazy is that? You made it a whole nother 365 days. And here you are. And I've got to cherish every single one of those 365 days with you. You know? Look at the person that you've grown into. Look at the things that you've learned. Look at the stuff that you've done. That's crazy. So I I want to always try to be more mindful about certain holidays and traditions and why they are and what they mean. I just it just makes me feel better as a person that I'm not just walking around day to day like la di da di da, whatever. Today's a great day, all about me. I think it kind of helps give me some purpose personally by being able to put my mind on something, and think about it and focus on something like this. You know, it makes me feel more present and not just lollygagging around, sucking up oxygen, you know? But that's just me personally. And also, I feel like it could also help with justifying purchases too. Like, oh, no, I needed this garland of leaves, of these dead leaves, to go across the mantle because Mabon, you know? So, no, I needed all these taper candles because Mabon, So, anyway, September, full moon, corn moon, slow down, focus on the home. Blood moon, ancestral things, resolution, transformation, divine judgment. It's very, very kind of girly. Um, Autumn equinox, September 22nd, is Mabon, second harvest. Just, we're doing it. We're doing the dang thing. Look at all these projects that we've started and look at all of them coming to fruition. It's awesome. Go us, So, anyway, thank you guys for listening. This is definitely a shorter episode, but that's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. Sometimes I have a lot of things to say, sometimes I don't have very much to say. Um, if you have anything specific that you want me to go further in depth, or if you have new things to teach me, because I don't exactly celebrate the pagan holidays, so to say. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like I wouldn't really celebrate Christmas. I'm just here for the presents. We just do presents and then that's it. And that's Christmas to me. I feel like I'm kind of like that same way with like some of these pagan holidays. Like, oh, I'm not here to like dance around the fire naked in the moonlight. I'm here to just be like, yep, 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 cool, awesome, fantastic, go us, and then that's it. Maybe just meditate a little bit, and then that's good. So, if you have anything you want me to clarify more, if you have any questions, if you have anything to teach me, because I always love learning new things, especially about stuff that I kind of know a little bit about, or maybe if you have your own take on stuff, I would love to hear about it. You can email me at averageghostmom@gmail.com. You can shoot me a message on TikTok. You can shoot me a message on Instagram. Also, since I've kind of got my stuff together with the episodes on the podcast, I've also been posting on TikTok and I'm trying to get up to 50 followers so that way when Ava wants to do like a live vlog, which generally she wants to do while we're cooking, um, I can do that because apparently I can't go live until I have 50 followers. So it would be super awesome if you could find me on TikTok and just follow me. You don't have to interact with the video or anything. I don't I don't care anymore. But I know that she really gets a kick out of doing this with me. So I know going live would be fun for her because she doesn't like filming cooking vlogs or anything. She doesn't like filming cooking videos because she has to stand a certain way. She can't get in the way of the camera. She has to make sure the camera can see this. And she's like, I just want to do the dang thing. And I'm like, hey, I get you, kid. I'm not blaming you at all. But so yeah, that's kind of one of my goals right now before the end of the year is to try to get 50 followers. So if I could do that if you could help me do that, actually, any random listeners out there who are like, oh, what the heck is this podcast, and you're listening and you're like, well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, that's fine, that's okay, you never have to listen to me ever again. Can you just go follow my TikTok so I can do that? That's all I'm asking for. I'm at 29 followers right now as I'm recording this. So we'll see by the next couple episodes if I get a couple more. It'd be really cool. What else? I think that's it for now. So, but I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.